We are making it live on YouTube also. In case the number of participants increase, they can go live on YouTube also.
Good.
Good morning, everybody, and this is Brijesh Dalmia, and I will be your host today. And thank you so much for joining on a Sunday morning, 11 o'clock. Big numbers today, almost more than 500 people have joined in, and the numbers are going up. And I think we will have a very large number today from all over the country. Can I request some of you, in fact, most of you, to please write the city from which you have joined in the chat box. If you can just mention the city from which you have joined. Noida, Lucknow, Cochin, Ahmedabad, Mumbai, Pune, Bangalore, Ahmedabad, Chennai, Aurangabad, Durgapur, Noida, Delhi, Rishikesh, Nagpur. Oh my God, I can't read. Hyderabad, Ahmedabad, Mumbai, Vadodara, Nagpur, Bangalore, Erode, Valsad, Coimbatore. So good morning to the entire country. Thank you so much for joining in such large numbers. And without spending more time, I will start the program. And the flow of the program is that I will talk about 20-25 minutes on the topic Plan Your Future today. Very short, crisp presentation of 10 slides. And then we have an esteemed guest with us today, a very senior person of the mutual fund industry, Mr. Anirudh Chaudhary, who is the retail sales head of ICICI Prudential Asset Management Company. He operates from Bombay and having an experience of almost 2 decades in the industry. And he will also speak briefly on this concept and how investors can take benefit from the concept of SIP today and SWP tomorrow. So let me start. So the topic today on which we are going to talk about is Plan Your Future today. And this essentially means that how you can invest in such a way that you can develop a good corpus tomorrow to take care of your future years. And the concept is very simple. We will talk about the concept of SIP, and I'm sure most of you already do SIPs. And I will then explain you the concept of SWP, which is called Systematic Transfer Withdrawal Plan, to take advantage of withdrawals every month in your golden years. So we all wish to have a secured financial future. We all do have. And time passes very quickly. समय इतनी तेजी से बीत जाता है कि हम जो चीज सोचते हैं कि हम प्लान करने वाले हैं, we actually do not do it. At 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, we still think we have time and we don't start. And it looks challenging and creates stress. So when you are in the latter half of your life, you start having stress about your retirement years and how you will get money on a regular basis. The solution is very simple, that if we start investing a small amount every month, we can achieve our targets comfortably. And this presentation is all about that. And you will love this presentation, the simplicity of this. And I will say, let me present the concept of SIP today and SWP tomorrow. If you have any question, you can type in the chat box or the Q&A. Q&A will be better. And then after the end of the presentation, we will answer all your questions. I will be here. No need to worry about that. Systematic investment plan. So systematic investment plan, जैसा आप सब जानते हैं, you are doing every month, you are investing a fixed amount in mutual funds. Systematic investment plan allows you to invest small amounts. You can start from 500 rupees. You can go as long as your pocket allows. There are investors who are doing 5 lakh rupees and 10 lakh rupees monthly SIP also, because this is such a concept. And people say that, this is the ninth wonder of the world. In fact, I have coined this that, compounding is the 8th wonder of the world and SIP is the 9th wonder of the world. Small amounts can grow so very large. and in an equity mutual funds, as opposed to the need to invest a single large amount. It reduces the cost of units. So because you're buying every month, it reduces the cost of units due to rupee cost averaging. It helps maintain discipline during the investment journey. And the best feature of SIP is that you can increase, decrease, pause, stop SIP at any time. This is very, very powerful. So you should always think about higher amount of SIP. Let us say अगर आपका pocket 20,000 allow कर रहा है और आप 25,000 सोच सकते हैं करने की, you should do 25,000. If you are uncomfortable, you can reduce it back to 20. Do not be defensive when you start your SIP. Start with higher amount, and you can always decrease it, because I have seen when you start with a higher amount, you are able to continue that and your corpus increases. I want to now talk about the concept of systematic withdrawal plan. Some of you are aware of this concept. Many of you are not aware of this concept. It is the opposite of SIP. SIP means the money is going from your bank to mutual funds. In SWP, systematic withdrawal plan, the money goes from mutual fund scheme to your bank. So it's a reverse process. So the concept is, in your earning years, let us say up to 55, 60 years, you should invest from your bank account to a mutual fund unit through SIP. And after 55, 60, whenever you want to retire, 50, 60, 65, you can reverse the process that whatever you have saved with compounding starts getting back into your bank account. And after my presentation, Anirudh will tell you a ready-made solution from ICICI Asset Management Company, which automatically does this with one click. So SWP can be considered at the opposite of SIP. In case of SWP, a fixed amount is transferred from your mutual fund portfolio to your bank account on a periodic basis. This can be weekly, fortnightly, monthly, quarterly, whatever frequency you choose. It converts mutual fund units to bank balance in a phased manner. It helps you provide regular cash flow to meet expenses during retirement years. And I tell you, the tax implication of this process is same or lower than any other investment process you apply for your retirement income. For example, pension is 100% taxable, fixed deposit interest is 100% taxable after a particular small limit. But when you do SWP, you get capital gains on the units, and the tax rates are very, very less. So this is a very preferred way of withdrawal in your retirement years. And now I want to talk about SIP today, SWP tomorrow. So the concept is that, let us say you are 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, you start SIP today and let it grow for 5, 10, 20, 25 years. And I will give you 5 scenarios. Decide a future date when you want to start withdrawals. Let's say you think you will retire at 60, so you can decide a date. And you don't have to inform this date to the company now. It is completely upon you. You can prepone it, you can postpone it, and you can do as many times as you want. Then you set up your periodic withdrawals from the corpus you have generated through SIP. Let us say you developed a corpus of 50 lakhs or 2 crores by the age of 60, 65, and then you want to withdraw from that corpus. At the time of retirement, you have the choice, and even before the retirement, you have the choice to rebalance the portfolio into debt, balance, equity anytime as per your risk profile. This is very powerful. So mutual fund offers you complete flexibility the way you want to invest. Now, as I said, it's a very short, crisp presentation which you will like. So half of my presentation is over, and I will give you 5 scenarios for each one of you who have joined. Almost 700 to 800 people have joined till now, and including YouTube. And I think everybody who has joined this program today will have one slide which they can relate with. Let's say you are in 40 years age bracket, and if you are younger than 40, still better. Let's say you are 40 years of age and you start 25,000 rupees monthly investment, and you continue your SIP till 60 years of age. So for 20 years you do SIP. You save a total amount of 60 lakhs over 20 years. Let us assume you get a return of 12%. Please remember, this is not a guaranteed return. This is expected return, assumed returns, and it can vary. But as per the past performance, I think this is a very reasonable return considering the GDP of the country being 12 to 13% and the corporate profitability being 13, 15%. I think this is a very reasonable number. And with this estimate, your corpus can grow to 2 crores 30 lakhs in 20 years time. Now, when you achieve 60 years of age, you start withdrawals. And let us say the person expects a life expectancy of 80 years. Remember, the current life expectancy of Indian are 72 to 73 years. So I've taken it at 80 years now. So you withdraw for the next 20 years, and you expect a return of only 8% during the next 20 years from the date of your withdrawal till 80 years. So you can have a mix of debt and balance and equity here. So from 12%, we have reduced the return in the next 20 years at 8%. So it's very conservative. And you can withdraw 1,50,000 rupees per month. So you invest 25,000 and you get 6 times that amount on a monthly basis after 20 years, 1,50,000. So if you do 10,000, this becomes 60,000. You do 15,000, it becomes 90,000. You withdraw 3 crore 60 lakhs total in 20 years. You invested 60 lakhs. You withdraw 3 crore 60 lakhs. And you still get back 2 crore 30 lakh rupees at the end of 80 years, which you can consume or you can leave it for your legal heirs or your spouse or your son or daughter. So this is the power. And if you want to know more about this, you can call your mutual fund distributor at any point of time and he will give you a customized solution for this. Let's take example number 2. Let's say there are some young people here who are 30 years of age. Okay, so if you're 27, 33, you can get a customized proposal from your mutual fund distributor who have invited you to this program. They are equipped and very professional. So at 30 years, if you start a SIP of 10,000, it's a very small amount. Even if you're earning 25,000, 40,000, 50,000 a month, you can do 10,000 rupees SIP. And the same logic, you don't have to do this SIP for 60 years. You just have to do it for 40 years. That is only 10 years. Okay. So आपको ये भी टेंशन नहीं है कि 30 साल तक बहुत लंबा टाइम है, मुझे इतना पैसा डालना पड़ेगा. You just invest for 10 years. So your total investment is only 12 lakhs. Anybody who has joined this program can do this. At 12% rate of return in 20 years time, it can become 2 crore 16 lakhs. So 20 years time is from 40 years to 60 years. So at the age of 60 years, you start withdrawal till 90 years. Okay, so I've again increased the period here from 80 to 90. So 30 saal tak you can withdraw the money. At 8%, you can withdraw 1,40,000 a month. So if you are 30 years, 10,000 रुपया महीना डालना है 10 साल के लिए और 30 साल तक आपको 14 टाइम यानी 1.4 lakhs per month का रिटर्न मिल सकता है, which is very good sum in the Indian context to live off your retirement years. Your total withdrawal is 5 crores. And you also get back at the age of 90 years, 2 crore 16 lakhs. ये जो पैसा आपने जमा किया और उसका जो appreciation हुआ ना, ये पैसा भी आपका 2 crore 16 lakh रुपया आपके नॉमिनी को वापस मिल सकता है. This is the example number 2. Example number 3. Let us say you are 40 years and you from 25,000 in the first example, you invest 40,000 here, but you don't invest till 60 years. You do only for 50 years. Many investors do not want to commit for 60 or 65 years or 15, 20, 25 years, although they will like to extend it. But when they are planning, they want that the period should be shorter. So I have reduced the period only to 10 years. And then you hold this investment from 50 years till 60 years, holding period 10 years. So you invest 48 lakhs, it becomes 2 crore 80 lakhs. And then you start your withdrawal from 60 years till 80 years. 20 years withdrawal, 8% return expected. Your withdrawal can be 1,78,000 per month. So you invest 40,000, 4.5 times per month withdrawal you can take. And mind you, in Indian context, 1,80,000 rupees per month is a big amount to live very comfortably if you start saving 40,000 today. And you can withdraw 4 crore 32 lakh rupees, leaving 2 crore 80 lakh rupees for your nominee at the end of the 80-year period. 2 more examples quickly. So let's say you are 50 years again and you do 50,000 SIP. Some investors can really invest in husband and wife name, 25,000 each. So it's not a very difficult amount. 6 lakh rupees per year at 50 years is not a very, very high sum of investment. If you're earning 1,25,000, 1,50,000 a month in the family, you can invest 50,000 in SIP. You do it only for 10 years. Total investment 10 years, 60 lakhs. At 12% grows to 1 crore 12 lakhs. From 60 to 80, you can withdraw 50,000 rupees. So you start 50,000 rupees today. And for 20 years, you can get back 20,000 rupees for retirement. So I'm trying to give you different calculations. So you can ask your distributor, your advisors that I want this kind of plan. जितना पैसा मैं डाल रहा हूँ उतना ही पैसा withdrawal आए या उसका double आए या triple आए. You can get all those permutation combinations customized for you. So you withdraw 1 crore 20 lakhs and you can leave 2 crore 35 lakh rupees for your nominee. So you see here, you generated 1 crore 12 lakhs, but you can leave 2 crore 35 lakh rupees to the next generation. Huge. And if you want, you can increase this amount also. And finally, before I say thank you to all of you to join this program, before handing it over to Anirudh, my last example is example number 5, 45 years of age. And you will start with 1 lakh rupees per month till 60 years, that is 15 years. You invest 1 crore 80 lakhs total. At the rate of 12%, it grows to 4.76 crores. In 60 years' time, you can start withdrawal when your age is 60. For 20 years, you will get 3 lakhs per month. So you start with 1 lakh, you get 3 lakhs, 3 times the amount. You can live off your retirement year very, very comfortably. If you want to add components like inflation adjusted, your distributor can help with that also. You can customize the presentation the way you want it. So you want this 3 lakh rupees to go up by 5% every year in the retirement years. They have the calculators and tools to give this presentation to you, how much you have to invest. They can customize all these data points for you. And then you withdraw 7 crore 32 lakh rupees. And you can leave this 4 crore 76 lakh rupees for your nominee at the age of 80 years as a life expectation. So I think this is a fantastic concept of SIP today and SW tomorrow. As promised, I have taken 20 minutes to give you a presentation on this. I will say thank you very much to attend and spend half an hour, 1 hour with me today, along with your mutual fund distributor. I will now hand over the mic and the podium to Mr. Anirudh Chaudhary, who is a very senior person, as I said. Anirudh, all to you.
Thank you, Brajesh ji, and good morning, all the participants. It's really heartening to see so many of you joining on a Sunday. Brajesh ji, can I share the screen?
Yes, can you share? Do you have the permission?
No, the disabled participant screen sharing. It's
now you can.
Okay, just a minute. Is it visible?
Yes.
Okay. So what I'm going to share, you a ready-made solution, what exactly Brajesh ji was stating. And ultimately, what we are going to do is to have a financial freedom. So how can we have a financial freedom? So there are two types of scenarios. One scenario is every month I do a systematic investment plan, and I'm very happy to see that a lot of you have already started doing it. Now, the only thing is that there has to be a discipline and there has to be a long-term goal. Now, the long-term goal can also become a goal where I want a cash flow, because ultimately, I think for every Indian, a big goal or a big financial planning is for their retirement planning. So in retirement planning, suppose if anybody is starting his job or maybe are starting an SIP, can he plan his retirement cash flow with this particular tool? So that's what I'm actually trying to show you. So it's a very simple way of doing it, but it's an auto method of switching, getting the cash flow. So you don't have to do anything. You only have to think about and fix your goal. So what happens? A time where you are getting a salary or a regular income, you are doing a SIP, and after a particular time frame, which you can decide, automatically that money is shifted to a target scheme, or for a very simple way, to a mutual fund where the volatility will be low, because at that point of time, you have to reap the benefit of whatever wealth creation has happened. And on the next month onwards, you will start getting a cash flow. So that's the back end of this full solution. So we name it as Freedom SIP. Why Freedom SIP? Because ultimately your aim is to get a financial freedom. So how it works? So suppose if you are doing an SIP of 10,000. So I am given an example of 10,000 rupees. You can change it to 20,000, 30,000, 5,000, whatever it is. The last column is showing that what is the cash flow which we are trying to provide you after the SIP tenure is over. So sir, it's not that you are doing an SIP and you have to create wealth forever. You have to enjoy that wealth as well. So suppose if anybody is thinking of doing an SIP of 8 years, so 10,000 rupees SIP he starts, and he has to only fill up a form either digitally or through a physical format. Your mutual fund distributors will be able to provide you all the forms, everything. And what you have to do, you have to do a 10,000 rupees SIP for 8 years. After the 8 year is complete, automatically you will be starting getting a monthly cash flow, which is exactly what Rajeshji was saying was systematic withdrawal plan. So it's a monthly cash flow of 10,000 rupees. If you are doing it for 10 years, then the cash flow will start at 15,000, 1.5x. If it is 12 years, it is 2x. If it is 15 years, it is 3x. Now the power of compounding is actually what, if you see every 3-4 years increase, how the number of times your cash flow increases. So suppose if any of you or any of your son or daughter have started his career and got his or her first salary, can you think of a plan where he starts a 10,000 rupees monthly SIP, and he does or she does it for 25 years, and she or he starts getting 8x. So after 25 years, the cash flow which that person will be getting is 8x of what the SIP he or she has started. So Freedom SIP is SIP and an SWP. So today you are creating wealth, and from a future date which you can define, you will start reaping the benefit of the systematic withdrawal plan or the cash flow benefit. So 8 years, it is 1x, 10 years, it is 1.5x, 12 years, it is 2x, 15, 3x, and for 30 years, it is 12x. So earlier you start getting the higher benefit of that wealth creation. Now, you don't have to fill up too many things. It's a simple thing. You have to put what money you want to do an SIP. Second, the SIP tenure, and the other things will be taken care of. You may choose a target scheme, or otherwise it will take a balance advantage fund as the target scheme where the volatility is much lower. So these are the source schemes. So I have shown you few schemes, but again, it's an just for an example purpose. So you can check with your mutual fund distributor, and you can check which particular scheme you have to. More or less, you can choose any of the diversified equity scheme. So a value discovery scheme, suppose you have chosen, and then you can take a target scheme of balance advantage fund or multi-asset fund. Automatically, after the tenure ends, it will switch into that target scheme and your cash flow starts. So this is what Freedom SIP is concerned. Freedom SIP, one thing, your SIP is happening, and then automatically your systematic withdrawal is happening. Now, this is for those who have already started their income generation and in the way of creating wealth. But think of a person who has already created wealth, or maybe he doesn't have that much of time of 8 years or 10 years. He has a time frame of say 4 years, 3 years, 5 years that you can choose. And already there is a corpus he has created. Now what he actually is thinking is how I can get a systematic cash flow on a daily, on a monthly basis after my retirement. It can be on the from the next month, it can be after a particular period. So the first example which I have shown you is for those who are actually creating wealth and then planning for their cash flow at a later stage. The second solution which we are trying to provide you is a Freedom SWP, where you have already created a wealth and you want a regular cash flow, maybe from the next month onwards, or maybe after a certain period. The only thing you have to also think about, whenever you are thinking about a cash flow, there is also an inflation which is also affecting your expenses. So can we create a solution where your cash flow also increases year on year? So one, there has to be a cash flow. Second, how I can ensure that your cash flow also increases on a month, on a year on year basis, because there is a year on year inflation which is going to eat up a good amount of your expenses. So that's a solution which is known as Freedom SWP. What it happens? So see the second chart. You plan an investment which you are going to do, and then you choose a Freedom SWP. So systematic withdrawal plan, Freedom SWP. In case of normal SWP, which is the first chart, every year your expenses grows, but your cash flow will be same. So suppose if you have taken a cash flow of 50,000 rupees, every month you will be getting a cash flow of 50,000. But first year maybe your expenses was 50,000, that's why you have planned for 50,000. But next year there is an inflation, so automatically as there is an inflation, and I have taken an inflation of only 4% annual inflation, which might happen whenever India will become from developing to developed. The more we go into the developed economy, automatically your inflation rates comes down. But as the inflation rate increases, that 50,000 after 30 years or say 25 years, the expenses becomes 1,33,000. Now 50,000 expenses which was there on year 0, it becomes 1,33,000 after 25 years. Are your cash flow is also increasing in that way in a fixed systematic withdrawal plan? No. In case of Freedom SWP, there is a annual top up which you can choose. And what happens? Suppose if you have chosen an annual top up of 4% and a systematic withdrawal plan of 6%, what will happen? Every year there will be a top up and your cash flow increases. Mota moti, very simple way, your cash flow increases and you can choose that what top up you want. And on the basis of that, every year there will be an increase of the cash flow. So very simple thing. You choose a scheme. There is an eligible scheme list. Your mutual fund distributor will be able to help you to provide that eligible scheme list. Choose an amount. You have to choose what specify amount through which you want to do an SWP, and then choose a top up. So you can think of 3%, 4%, 5% top up. You can ask me that why I have only restricted it to 5%, because we think on a longer term inflation is going to come down and it will be more or less between 3 to 5%. And that's the target which government also tries to take. Definitely there will be few of the geopolitical reasons, etc., for which inflation will go up, but that's the average inflation on a longer period. And you can choose SWP from any month. So it can be from next month, it can be after a specified period. So all those things you can choose and automatically your cash flow increases. These are the eligible schemes which are there. Again, typically you will see it's a hybrid schemes where the volatility becomes lower. So automatically stability is the most important thing which we will try to achieve. And as you have already created wealth, that will be preservation. The wealth preservation will be the main goal. So a balance advantage fund or an asset allocator fund or a multi-asset fund or equity ended fund, all those funds are actually a hybrid fund. I will show you an example with multi-asset fund, how it works and how, as Brajesh ji was stating, that your corpus also grows and you also starts getting a cash flow. So there is a live example which I want to show you with a multi-asset fund. I have taken an example of 1 crore investment. It can be 10,000. So 1 crore I have put, because just if you want to do a 10,000, it will be just a few zeros will not be there. That's all. And in this particular example, I have taken the starting point as 2002 October, because that's the period from which this particular fund have started. And the ending date is October 2019. So I have not taken today's date where the market has shoot up in a much higher. So you may think about कि अभी तो market ऊपर चला गया है. That's why everything is much rosy. I have not shown you. I have shown you only October 19 when the market was at a much lower place. Suppose if an investor has invested 1 crore rupees and he has taken an SWP or a cash flow requirement from next month onwards, and we say that your monthly withdrawal should be around 6% per annum. So you take that 6% per annum monthly withdrawal, and you do a top up of 4%. All these only have to be ticked. That's all. What has happened? He has invested 1 crore. He is taking a systematic withdrawal of 6% per month. So the total systematic withdrawal which currently he is getting is around 97,365, because every year there is a top up of 4% which is happening. So first year when he started, he took only 1 crore into 6% divided by 12. That was his first year. But next year onwards, slowly his cash flow increases. So the current SWP payout full if I think about, is around 11.5 lakhs, 11.68 lakhs to be precise. He has got from 2002 to 2019. Every month systematic withdrawal plan, whatever he has got, if I add it up, it will be 11.68 lakhs. So total payout uh, 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 at this point of time is 11.5 lakhs per annum he is getting. Total payout is around 1.44 crore. He has invested only 1 crore. The total payout is already 1.44 crore, plus the current valuation is 21.5 crore. Now you may think it's unbelievable, but it's the actual data. So if anybody have started with 1 crore, his current valuation is 21.5 crore. As on 31st January 2020, I have taken 2020 only, not the current date where the market valuation will be much higher. In fact, October 2021, the market was at its peak. So I have not taken that. I have only taken 31st January 2020. 21.5 crore is his current valuation. He has already got a total payout of 1.5 crore by investing 1 crore. The current per annum cash flow is around 11.5 lakh, which will help him to take care of his expenses. You may ask me that there is a capital gain tax also, because whenever he is doing a withdrawal, there will be a capital gain. The total capital gain which he has paid is only 26,000. So the capital gain tax is also too low. So the total capital gain he has paid is only 26,308 rupiah. That's all. And the current valuation is around 21.5 crore as on 31st January 2020. That's the beauty of this solution. So if you are on the wealth creation mode, take Freedom SIP. If you are on a wealth preservation mode or nearing retirement, or you require a cash flow maybe from tomorrow, next month, or from a particular date, take Freedom SWE. What we have also created or tried to create is to simplify it for our investors. And again, I am repeating, please check with your mutual fund distributors. They will be providing you all those solutions or help. So what we have created a simple way that there are some predefined years. You can start it after 6 years. You can start definitely it after next month also. You can start it after 9 years, after 12 years, after 15 years. And by default, it will be continuous till 2099. You can choose any other date, and you can choose a top up which we want to do, a 3%, 4%, 5% top up. The advantage is, as you are keeping the money for 6 years. So I'm giving an example. Suppose you have started with a 1 crore or a 50 lakh or a 10 lakh rupees. So 10 lakh rupees, you have chosen 6 years. And as I have said, that a 6% is the systematic withdrawal amount whenever what we always suggest. So you have taken a return or not a return, a cash flow expectation of 6%. But as you have kept it for 6 years, you will be getting 1.5 time. So you will be start getting a cash flow of 9%. In case of 9 years, you will be start getting it at 12%. If you are keeping it for 15 years, you will be getting it at 18%. So 3x you will be start getting the cash flow after that 15 years. So you don't have to do any paperwork. It's a predefined thing. You have to just tick, and you have to state that after what year you want to get that cash flow, and you can also take the annual top up which you want to have. That's all, and everything will be taken care of by the solution. So standard will be definitely there, which is I have stated after 6 years, 9 years, 12 years, 15 years. We state it as lifestyle pack, because you want to have the same lifestyle and maybe a better lifestyle after retirement, or after whenever you think about your cash flow is required. Or you can do a customize your own pack. But I will suggest, if you don't want to do a much of calculation, better take that standard pack, which will help you. So again, just to give you and end this discussion with an example. So suppose if you have taken an example of initial investment of 10 lakh, and you have ticked 6 years at a lifestyle pack, that after 6 years you need a cash flow, you will be getting 1.5 times of what you were supposed to get from next month. So 6% becomes 9%. So that's the cash flow or systematic withdrawal payout which starts happening. So starting payout is 90,000 rupees on a per annum basis. So on a per month basis, it will be 7,500 per month. And these monthly payouts will grow every year by either 3%, 4%, or 5%, whatever you choose, because there will be an inflation. And as you have to take care of that inflation, you also have to take that what you want to grow of your cash flow on a yearly basis. More or less, you can choose 4 or 5%. 4% will be an average, because if inflation comes down, automatically average 4% you can take it. The more you keep the number of years in this lifestyle pack, automatically your Freedom SWP or the systematic withdrawal plans registration multiplier increases. So that's the way you can actually plan for your cash flow. So the cash flow is growing. There is an inflation which you can tackle. There is a taxation requirement, or there is a taxation which will eat away a little bit of your income. So this particular tool is being designed in such a way that it takes care of your taxation problem in a much better way. And then there is a flexibility. Whatever I have stated, there is a full flexibility of starting your systematic withdrawal plan, ending your systematic withdrawal plan, putting what amount you want. And on top of it, at any point of time, if you need the money back, you can definitely redeem and get the money back. Though I will suggest, whatever goal you have taken, unless and until there is an exigency, it's better to be into that particular goal. So thanks from my end. Brajesh ji, we can take question and answer if there is any, and we can continue this program. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Anirudh, for such a lovely presentation and a brilliant product composition. Ready-made solution jisko bolte hain, to provide investors a ready-made solution. Fantastic. And thank you so much. So I will now take some of your questions and then we will wrap up quickly. Let me see some of the questions. Just give me one moment. So you can stop the presentation, stop sharing.
Yeah, I'm trying that only.
Okay, let me help you.
Yeah.
I'm 45 years old and I'm looking for next 15 years, Mr. Kaushal, what I need to invest for each month. So it all depends upon how much you want to withdraw. You can start with 10,000, 20,000. So your mutual fund distributor can give you the exact amount, Mr. Kaushal, how much you can withdraw. You can get in touch with him and he can give you a ready-made solution from ICICI, or he can plan it in a calculator to get you started. Geeta is saying started investing from 50 only. Der aaye durust aaye, Geeta ji. No problem. Anurod Sarma, thank you so much. Can you share the presentation to me? Palan, you can get this presentation from the mutual fund distributor who invited you. Yeah, he will have this presentation with himself. Rajiv Nashana, looks like this is specific to ICICI mutual fund. Also, can SWP be done from multiple MFs? The answer is yes. So the concept of SIP SWP is a good concept, and all mutual fund companies will provide you this concept. ICICI has a ready-made solution. They have designed this as a product, so it might help you. But if your question is that, can you design this in other mutual fund? The answer is yes. Can you specify the plan name, please? There's nothing called the plan name. You can call it your own plan. I have called the plan name as SIP today, SWP tomorrow. ICICI Prudential has called this plan as Freedom SIP, that you start your SIP and you get freedom in your retirement years in terms of withdrawal. I think that is the concept. Starting at 25 from 10,000. Swarali, this is fantastic. I can assure you that at 25 years of age, if you start 10,000 rupees SIP, you will be financially independent much, much before your friends and other people at your age. When we withdraw, do we have tax? Yes, there is a component of tax, but that component of tax is lower in mutual funds as compared to any other financial product. Devendra, which mutual fund good for one-time investment? This answer, I will leave it to your mutual fund distributor to answer, because he needs to know a lot many things from you, which I am not aware of. Top-up withdrawal from SWP is annual basis. It can be monthly basis or quarterly basis, or you can design annual basis the way you want it.
Freedom SWP, it is on annual basis.
Acha, Freedom SWP is. Do we have to invest money on a monthly basis in SIP, or we can invest in bulk amount in one go? SIP concept is monthly basis generally. You can do it weekly also, fortnightly also, quarterly also, but 95% people do it on a monthly basis. What is the guarantee of the numbers shown in ICICI presentation? Vasant Vaji. There is no guarantee of any numbers that we have shown. I will repeat. All numbers are expected assumed numbers on and historical numbers in actual. The future no one knows, and the performance can differ. But we'd all tend to have some understanding of the past on the basis of which we prepare such presentation. But to answer your question, this is not a guarantee. Santosh, I am already invested in ICICI mutual fund for 5,000 per month. Why it is period up to 2099? Can withdrawal anytime when I need cash? Anirudh, you want to answer this?
Yeah, so 2099 is for the, when you are doing an SIP, you can do it for any period of time. 2099 is a perpetual SIP where we say that, okay, you don't have to stop that SIP, but any point of time you can stop. So it is just stating that it's a perpetual SIP. That's why it is 2099. You can do it. The same is for the withdrawal also.
Okay. Abhishek is asking, is the key advantage of SWP over bulk withdrawal just reduction in tax and LTC? The partial answer is yes. But the key advantage of SWP is monthly cash flow. When you do bulk withdrawal, you don't get monthly cash flows for meeting your expenses on a monthly basis. Bulk withdrawal is for meeting a goal. Monthly withdrawal is for running your expenses. Currently having a corpus of 50 lakhs in mutual fund by way of SIP. Can I have SWP from same funds after 5-6 years? Answer is yes. Sorry, Swapnil. Sanjeev Rajagopal, my portfolio is distributed over 10 fund houses. How to streamline into SWP? Well, you can choose one or two. You don't need 10 fund houses and 20 different schemes. You can probably consolidate into one or two mutual fund with 1 or 2 or 3 SWPs. That should be good enough for you. So both, we are talking about 20-30 years, how safe to invest where. You will not be working with ICICI organization. Well, you didn't never know that. Anirudh is young and probably he will continue. But to answer your question, you should not rely upon Anirudh. You should rely upon the organization. And ICICI Mutual Fund is in existence since last 25 years. And I think that it will continue for the next 20-30 years, to answer your question. Anirudh Damle, one-time investment in mutual fund possible? Yes, you need to coordinate with your mutual fund distributor. Datta Jadhav, I am now 49. Can I do SIP 10,000 in ICICI is good. So SIP of 10,000 is good. To do it in ICICI or not, you have to check with your mutual fund distributor because I can't say yes and no because compliance doesn't allow me to name the AMC in which you need to do SIP because I don't know you. But ICICI is the number 1, number 2 AMC in the country, and I think it's not a bad bet. Can a parent start SIP in minus child name for a period of 20 years? The answer is yes. The KYC norm says that money has to come from the child's bank account. Am I right, Arun?
Yeah.
Amit Poker, if I invest one-time amount and withdraw after 15 years through SWP, is it possible? Yes, it is possible. And that is the beauty of the question of Amit Poker, that any flexibility that you want, the way you want to design it, it is possible. Is one-time investment good comparing SIP? See, both one-time and SIP is good if you're doing it for 20 years. If you want lower volatility, SIP is better and it doesn't pinches you on your pocket and you can develop a good corpus. But if you have one time, you can start one time also. Swarali, is there any drawbacks of loss if we wanted to redeem our investment before designated years of SIP? So the only loss that you can have is if markets are not doing well at the time of withdrawals. For example, 2008 or 2020 COVID times. If you want money at that point of time when your investments are not doing well, probably you can have a loss. But there are no exit loads, I believe, beyond 1 year in your SIP investments in mutual funds. So whatever is the value, there is no loss. You will get 100% of your value after 1 year. Before 1 year, if you withdraw, there is an exit load of 1% of the amount. Bhavnari, hi Brijesh, I'm a distributor. Can I get today's presentation? If you're a member of MasterStroke, yes, you can get this presentation. And also from ICICI, you can get this presentation. You can just withdraw from your user ID, the presentation which I gave. Kamlesh, ICICI Freedom SIP is available on Kotak Demat app. Anirudh?
No, it's not. So it's available in our website. It's available in NSE, BSE, and I have to check with Kotak Demat app whether it is available. I hopefully it will not. But I'm more or less what I think it's not available.
Lalit, in how many schemes should we select for select investing? Suppose I'm investing 15,000. I think 2 schemes is good enough. Max 3 schemes. Can we convert SIP into SWP? Of course you can. So you stop SIP and from the same fund you can start SWP. Mr. Kishan. Subodh Kadam, where exactly this product would be investing further? This product will be further investing in underlying schemes of equities of the Indian companies. So you can check the portfolio from your mutual fund distributor. For example, if you invest in ICICI multi-asset fund, they will invest in 30, 40, 50 top quality companies in India, like the Reliance of the world and the ICICIs of the world and the HDFCs of the world. You can check the portfolio with your distributor. Sakshi Karale, if I put 10 lakhs FD today for 6 years, after 6 years, it becomes 15 lakhs at 7%, and I get around 10,000 out of it. Your plan saying 7,500 per annum, bit confused. No, so it's not 10 lakh. At 15 lakh rupees, if you see, 7% is 1 lakh 5,000 rupees, which is almost 8,500 rupees a month. So this calculation we have to redo again, but I can assure you the calculation which ICICI has showed you is the exact actual calculation in terms of mathematical equation. So your number has to be further discussed with your mutual fund distributor. But the answer is that if your corpus is 15 lakhs and there is no inflation adjusted, the return at 6% is 7,500. If it is 7%, you don't get 10,000, you get 8,500. Anirudh sir, mobile number. I think we will skip this and you need to speak to your ICICI relationship manager, Hari Krishna Investment, and they will probably help you with this. Saurabh, thank you very much. Thank you so much, Saurabh. Soman Rajbar, withdrawal will be what extent? That is till pre-selected dates or basis of age. Anirudh?
So it can be pre-selected date only. Age-wise, it's not being stated, but you can choose any of the date. Though we have given you a pre-selected date, after 6 years, 9 years, you can choose any of the date.
Amit Poker, capital gain tax will be charged on every withdrawal. If you are a resident individual, the answer is no, it will be charged on the annual taxation. You have to calculate it annually. If you are NRI, then it will be charged on every withdrawal. Atulya, so lump sum plus monthly amount is good for SIP or monthly amount is good for SIP returns? Both is good. Over 20 years, there is no fixed rule that SIP is better or lump sum is better. SIP helps you with lower volatility. You feel not very panicked when markets go down, and you averages the cost. Otherwise, if you're investing for 20 years, lump sum is also not bad. Generally, people do not stay for 20 years in lump sum. So you should do SIP. Should we do SIP in various asset class instead of just equity? Equity will offer you the best possible return because of volatility. So when you do SIP, when the prices go down, you buy more, and that makes SIP in equity far more valuable and preferred than other asset class. But the answer is yes, you can do SIP in other asset class. Can I get the presentation? Yes, MasterStroke can give you the presentation, and Anirudh can also give you the presentation. You can get in touch with ICICI. Probably, Anirudh, we can upload as we discuss this presentation at the MasterStroke platform. Everybody can withdraw.
Sure.
Would like to invest 20,000 per month for 5 years and stay back for 10 years. If any suggestion about the same. Radhe, I think you should get in touch with the person who invited you for this program, and he will help you with the same. Abhishek, is having 10 different scheme for SIP, including asset allocation, good? No, I think 10 is too much. Maybe 2 or 3. Just to inform, we had more than 850 unique logins for today's program. That's a very high number. That's a very good number. Thank you all of you for participating in this program. Nahesh, after demise of the SWP holder, can we transfer the units in the name of the nominee? Absolutely yes. I have recently 6 months invested 5 lakhs in Axis Multicap Mutual Fund, but the scheme is going on in negative trend. Can I expect the growth in the coming days? My answer is yes. Last 6 months index is negative. Since November, markets have not given any return. And it's not the right time to analyze your investment returns in any of the scheme, because in the short period, it is difficult to outperform. Over the period of 3 to 5 years, you can expect very good positive returns. Thank you, Mr. A.P. Gupta. We will be here to answer your question for the next 2-3 minutes, and then we will close this session. Can I shift to any other good plan from the present one where I can expect 15% growth in the next 3-5 years? Well, historically, you have got 15% return, but in futuristic language, 15% should be a little aggressive side, on the higher side. You should expect 10-12%. But the way Indian economy is going, I will not be surprised that it can get 14-15% return also. But I would like to give you the disclaimer that returns are not guaranteed. Subodh Gatam, sir, has this product launched or yet to be launched? This product is already in the marketplace. You can speak to the person who invited you and he will offer you this product. Bank Nifty versus SIP, Atulya, which give regular returns like monthly income. So SIP can be converted into SWP. Bank Nifty doesn't give you monthly income. Amit Poker, NPS or SWP, which one will be more reliable? NPS is one of the best products in the country, but you have a limit of 50,000 rupees per year investment. You should do NPS without any doubt. But if you want higher amount of investment with better tax planning and regular cash flows with a higher monthly income, SWP is a superior option. But if you have the first 50,000 rupees to invest, my personal suggestion that NPS is good because you get complete tax benefit in the first 50,000 rupees of investment. Beyond that, you should go for SWP and SIP. What clause for premature withdrawal in case of need? There are no clause for premature withdrawal in case of need. You can withdraw. It's your money. You can withdraw at any point of time. I think, Anirudh, I love the answers because it is so flexible. You don't have to think twice. It is so transparent, so flexible that all the answers are yes. Somesh, how many number of mutual fund SIP for long-term investment? I think 3 or 4 is good enough. I think I have answered all the questions. I will see some of the questions in Q&A and then we will close. Thank you, Swaminathan. If I invest 15,000 at the age of 30, I will continue up to 15 years. What is the amount I will get? So I will give you a rough estimate. You are investing around 2 lakh rupees for 15 years. That's 30 lakh rupees. For 15 years, that's 7.5 years. So it should be around 60 lakhs. 60 lakhs is the ballpark figure it should get. What is the tax liability on SWP? It's small. You get capital gains benefit shares, so the liability is not very much. I think that is all. And I think I will say thank you to all of you. Radhe Radhe, thank you so much. Vijay Puri, thank you. Rajiv, Nashana, NPS also offers tax benefit of 10% of basic salary under Section 80 CC2. Absolutely, yes. This is for corporate NPS. If you're working, if your employer does it, then it's fine. This is a fantastic opportunity, Rajiv. I agree with you. NPS with corporate NPS. So thank you so much. Enjoy your weekend. And Anirudh, thank you so much for joining this on a Sunday morning. And we had a fantastic crowd. And I thank all the mutual fund distributors to invite their investors to this program. We will keep doing programs like this. And I will see you in the next program. All the very best. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Rajesh. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.